A judge has just come out against Donald Trump's ban on transgender members of the military.
Oh,
This happened earlier this week, so-
surprise!
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
A federal judge late Friday barred the federal government from implementing the Donald Trump ban on transgender members of the military, finding that the ban had to be subject to a careful court review before implementation because of the history of discrimination against transgender individuals. Judge Marcia Peckman of the Western District of Washington ruled that transgender people were a protected class,
Yes.
and that the injunctions against the implementation of the ban had been issued in December should remain in place. She wrote that there was a, quote, long and well-recognized history of discrimination and systemic oppression against transgender people.
Yes, absolutely.
That discrimination against transgender people was clearly, quote, unrelated to their ability to perform and contribute to society.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she also says that transgender people have long been forced to live in silence or to come out and face the threat of overwhelming discrimination.
Yeah.
I like this judge. She's smart.
She's very smart. This is what we call somebody who's not an activist judge, but is referencing precedents and evidence.
Yes.
Oh, in the Constitution.
Oh, yeah, in the
I'm pretty sure
Constitution
this falls
and-
under the 14th,
yeah,
14th
law
Amendment
and
stuff.
yeah.
Uh,
She's doing her job. That's what she's
14th?
doing.
I thought the 14th, 13th. Never mind.
14th is
The civil rights,
Yeah,
isn't it?
equal protection. Yeah.
Mhm. It was the 13th that was slavery, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe so.
I
I'm not
I don't
100% on that.
know.
It sounds
What was the
right,
name of the
so it
Netflix
is.
movie that they had that was about the prison slave thing that was going on? What was
Oh,
it,
trust me,
13?
I'm
think
super
it was
angry
13.
about that today.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Don't
back to
support
the
Starbucks
article.
people.
Yeah.
Back to
They
the article here.
utilize American slavery, which still exists. But back to the article.
The court also rules that because transgender people have long been subjected to systemic oppression and forced into live in silence, that they are a protected class. Therefore,
Mhm.
any attempt to exclude them from the military service will be looked at with the highest level of care
Yes.
and will be subject to the court's strict scrutiny. This means that before defendants can implement the ban, they must show that it was sincerely motivated by compelling interests
They
rather
have to
than by
have,
prejudice or stereotype,
Mhm.
and that is
Yes.
narrowly tailored to achieve those interests.
yeah, they
Yes.
have to have evidence that somehow being transgender would be detrimental to their service in the military, of
Mhm.
which there's none of that,
And let me
except for
just say,
bigotry.
wearing BDUs
Yeah.
doesn't make anybody look good. If everybody's wearing the same uniform, nobody can tell what
Also,
everybody else
I've got
is.
issues with their maternity uniform. It makes no
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, that's awful.
There's
Yeah.
pockets on the shirt of non-maternity, but there's not pockets on the maternity one, and that doesn't make any sense because they have a harder time reaching the pockets on their pants. What the fuck is going on with that maternity
It's-
uniform? It was clearly
it's
not designed by women.
Lowest bidder,
Right,
too. You got to
right.
remember that, too. All right, it says here, while Trump has tweeted that he consulted generals and military experts about the ban, Peckman wrote that the government had, quote, failed to identify even one general or one military expert that he consulted, despite having been ordered to do so repeatedly.
Yeah.
He's got no leg to stand on in this whole thing, and I
Yeah.
love it. I love this. It says that the Pentagon officials were surprised by the announcement, like we all were, because he did it over fucking Twitter.
Yeah. That doesn't. It doesn't.
I
that doesn't
don't
work.
even know what to do with this. I don't. Mm-mm. Okay, it's
We
fine.
have foreign policy being decided on Twitter. What the
yeah,
fuck,
we do.
guys?
Twitter, fucking Twitter.
Mhm.
You know the thing where I comment cases DM.
It says here that Jim Mattis got a heads up only one day beforehand, and the judge wrote that she is led to conclude that the ban was devised by the president and the president alone.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately for all you bigots out there, it's not enough. It's definitely not enough. This judge knows what the fuck she's doing, and you have to prove that having them in the military is going to be a bigger harm than, not having them in the military. So, yeah, go fuck yourself on that.
Other than there might be women who have developed as men for years and years and years, and then have the muscle structure of men, and then have gender affirmation procedures, and then can join certain units that can meet their physical standards, that certainly wouldn't be challenging to worldviews at all.
No,
Not at all.
not at all.
And yes, I mean women. Women.
And I most people that I've talked to in military service, I've brought it up with a couple of folks about this, and they're like, as long as that person's gone through the same shit that I've gone through to be here, and they want to be here, I don't give a fuck as long as they got my back.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of. I've met one person in the military who was insistent that women couldn't do certain jobs, and I was just like, "You're dumb," and he was. He was a very dumb person. Hateful.
I wanted my time in to be more like Starship Troopers, where you had that co-ed shower going on.
Yeah, there's none of that. There's none of that. So, I was.
If there
right out.
was, if we had a society that did have truly co-ed showers where there was equal representation of the genders, guess what? You wouldn't see the rape rate that you see.
No, you probably wouldn't.
No, because you'd get like one guy trying to rape and a bunch of women would be over there beating his ass. Because I don't care how many, I don't care how strong a man is. When you get a bunch of women on him, they're stronger collectively. That's how things work.
Well,
Yeah.
It multiplies. I just find it great
Because women are a force multiplier.
Yeah. When you have more than one.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, wait, no,
Boobs-
that's almost like
sorry.
a terrible pun that you
Boobs
just tried to give
Boobs
out there.
are a
God damn
force
it.
multiplier. There we go.
Just
No.
boobs?
No,
Try again.
no, no, bad joke. When I was
Okay.
just talking about rape, that's a weird.
I know that
I
was
know
terrible.
you were.
That was-
Didn't work.
Didn't land.
Nope,
Didn't
sorry.
land. It's okay. It's
Right
okay.
on your face on that one.
Okay.
Galaxy.